Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully you're having a good day. Coming off a good Monday. 3-0 in the college basketball streets. Can't complain about it. I told you guys yesterday I'm feeling unlocked. I think we're going to have a big rest of February, a big March, and then, that'll lead us right into baseball season. So, I'm pretty excited. Feeling pretty good about the process and everything. I think I'm up like 30 units my last 30 days betting, which is pretty good. Can't complain about that at all. And hopefully you guys have been along for the ride, and we'll continue it. Yesterday I had a pretty cool data space pulled up of that Steve had made, where he took some data on some cards and then kind of combined it with stats, and we were trying to find some interesting cards to purchase. I'm going to be doing some stuff like that if you guys are interested, for like basketball and baseball and all that stuff. So we'll be talking about that in the coming weeks on the stream. I'm going to be on that Sports Card Live show again on Saturday night, so if you guys want to tune into that, I'll be on there. It's pretty late night though, because they're in Canada, so it's a little bit behind. So I think the last time I went on, I didn't go on until like 11:30 p.m. or something. So it's pretty late, but if you guys are bored on a Saturday night, I'll be on that. I have FanDuel pulled up today because there's so many college basketball games tonight. So we're just going to talk about those today. There's some other stuff I wanted to talk about too. The Cincinnati Bengals fans, they've got to stop, man. Look, I've kind of like... I've kind of went to war with the Bengals fans for a few years now, because they beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs one time, and for some reason they think that they're like the greatest team. I don't know. I really don't understand it, because they have they won one time. They won a playoff game, went to the Super Bowl, and then they lost the Super Bowl. The way Bengals fans act, you would think they are the Chiefs and they've won 3 titles in the last 5 years or whatever it is. It's mind-boggling to me. They take every single NFL storyline and they make it about them. And I don't understand it. Like, every year we get these tweets at the end of the season. Joe Burrow, he's going to come back pissed off next year. Watch out. Like, I love Joe Burrow. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but every year it's the same storylines because they never win anything. Now, can they win something? Sure. They could win the Super Bowl next year. Do I think they will as of right now? No. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl next year. They're not on the upper tier of top teams. Despite having Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they are not on the top tier of NFL teams. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. They are in the second tier. They're not on the level of the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Lions, the Baltimore Ravens, the Bills. That's the top 5. And then the 49ers, I would put the 49ers at 6. They're probably going to be a lot healthier this year. So, look, the Bengals, they're just not up there yet, even though they went to a Super Bowl. But they went to the Super Bowl and lost. And yesterday, what was the storyline everyone was talking about yesterday? Oh, Joe Burrow, he's under pressure all the time, but he still went to a Super Bowl. What does that mean? He's under pressure all the time. He went to a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes has went to 5 and won 3 of them. Yeah, his offensive line has struggled in 2 of those Super Bowls, and that's the 2 that they lost. But Patrick Mahomes has no playmakers on offense. Travis Kelce can't move. DeAndre Hopkins can't move. It's Patrick Mahomes and Xavier Worthy just out there vibing. That's their offense. He doesn't get to throw to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and he had Tyler Boyd for the prime of his career. So I don't understand what the deal is with these Bengals fans, why they act like this, but it's so annoying to me, and I just can't stand it. So I'm calling them out once again. I've been at war with Bengals fans for 3 years. I'm going to go back to war with them. I'm tired of the Bengals fans. It's February 11th. Your team didn't make the playoffs. Just shut up. You can talk next year. Maybe you can win a game in September and you can talk maybe. But for now, just be quiet. Sass, thank you. Absolutely crushing. Yeah, I've been on fire. Feeling good, man. Feeling really good. New Drake album on Friday, Sass. So you know what that means. We're just going to go on an epic run here. I mean, the next 3 weeks, I may go up 50 units the next 3 weeks alone. This is going to be a deadly combo of me already being on a heater and a new Drake album. Absolutely lethal combo is coming this weekend. So we'll have a huge Saturday college basketball slate. It's just going to be a movie. All right. I think that's all I had to say about the Bengals fans. I don't think there was any other big storylines. Oh, Lakers, they look good. I mean, they played the Jazz, so no shocker there. But thought that was interesting. Gonna love to see how Luka and LeBron play together. They still need a center. But I'll tell you what, LeBron looked more locked into me, defensively, the last few games. I don't know if this trade lit a fire under him or something, but he seems a little bit more invested. And we know what Luka can do. Rui Hachimura, he's been playing very well. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how the Lakers play down the stretch this season. Mavericks lost Anthony Davis, and then Daniel Gafford got hurt last night. I haven't seen how serious that is, but oh boy, Nico Harrison. The Dallas Mavericks might not even make the playoffs. I mean, what are this? They may not, if they don't have AD for an extended period and now they lost Gafford, the Dallas Mavericks might not make the NBA playoffs after making that trade. If Dallas misses the playoffs after they traded Luka, oh my God, that guy should be fired at the end of the year, because his whole thing was, we're making this move to compete right now. In the future, it might not be good, but we're trying to win right now. If they don't make the playoffs this year, that guy, oh man, they're gonna come for that guy. All right, I have FanDuel pulled up today, like I said, because there's a ton of college basketball games. I'm mainly going to talk about just the big games here. I haven't done a ton of work on these smaller schools yet, so I'm not going to be taking any plays there tonight unless I see something on my side that just really, really sticks out, like I did last week when we took Drake against Murray State. That really was sticking out to me. So yeah, mainly going to talk about the big games, and there's a lot of them today. So starting off, Tennessee, Kentucky. Did not take anything here. Kentucky at home. Last time these two teams played, it was the only loss at home Tennessee's had all season. Kentucky went into Tennessee and just kicked their butts up and down the floor. They shot like crazy, and they were missing their two very good players in that game. So that was interesting. So, I mean, it's a quote-unquote revenge spot for Tennessee, but I'm really just not looking to bet on them here, I don't think. I would probably lean that Tennessee wins the game, but I'm not confident enough, I guess, to bet on it. Tennessee is such a weird team to me just because it feels like Rick Barnes has the same team every year, right? Like they're very good defensively. They struggle to score at times. And Kentucky, they haven't been playing fantastically as of late. Really, they haven't been playing great since that win over Tennessee. But I don't know. There's a lot of good games. I'm not in love with anything on this side, so I probably avoid that. Purdue and Michigan, this is a very fun game. Didn't take anything here. I do lean Michigan, though. But the reason I'm not going to bet it is because Purdue is just significantly better in all aspects, in my opinion, than Michigan, other than, being tall. Michigan's much taller, has better big men. But Purdue, top to bottom, is the better team. They absolutely routed Michigan the first time they played. What was the score on that? 91. So Purdue beat Michigan 91-64 the first times these teams played, which is pretty crazy. KenPom has Purdue, obviously 7th overall. Michigan is down at 20th overall. They have the game today as Michigan only losing by 1 point, which is spot on here. The spread's 1.5. Look, Michigan's at home, revenge spot. They've been playing well. This game could go either way. Big total on the game, 151.5. Should be some scoring here. I would probably, man, I think Michigan is going to win, but I'm just not confident right now to lay the 1.5. You could do the money line, but for right now, I'm going to wait and see on this one. This is on my maybe list. I feel like it'll be a popular play though today with the revenge angle. So it's on my maybe. Michigan to win is on my maybe. We're going to keep it to the side. Iowa State, UCF. I don't really care much about this game. I like this Iowa State team a lot. If they're fully healthy going into March Madness, I could see me being pretty interested in them to make a run. I kind of thought when I woke up this would be like a 7 or 8 point spread. It's 8.5, so it's kind of right on line. So probably no play for me there. I told you guys yesterday also, if you guys watched yesterday, I told you it was Clemson yesterday, man. I don't know. I liked Clemson, and then I didn't see one other person take Clemson. I think every person on Twitter that gives out bets gave out North Carolina yesterday, which I thought was hilarious. Like, that was just such a, like, fake sharp. 4 or 5 years ago, I feel like North Carolina would have been the play in that game, but that's just kind of not how the stuff is going anymore. But yeah, so I don't care much about this game personally. I'd probably lean Iowa State, but I'm not gonna take anything. Florida, Mississippi State. I love Florida here, but this line is just moving. So I'm gonna wait. Like, Florida's pretty public here, but this line has dropped. I mean, it was like 3.5, 4.5. It's down to 1.5. I'm just gonna wait and see if it flips even more. If we can get Florida as an underdog, I don't care if it's public. Mississippi State is fake good in my opinion, based off of the numbers that I see as well. You know, they're outside the top 30 overall in KenPom. A lot of their wins have come against bad teams. If you look against any of the good teams that Mississippi State has played, Kentucky, they lost. Auburn, they lost big by over 20 points. Tennessee, they lost pretty big. Alabama beat them. Missouri beat them, right? Like, they really haven't beat any good teams. The only good team I see that they've beat is, I guess, like Memphis, which is a mid-major, and then they beat Ole Miss in overtime. I'm not super impressed with Mississippi State, honestly. Florida, I'm very impressed with. They're one of the best teams in the country. Top 10 in both offense and defense on KenPom. Coming off a big win against Auburn, so people will say, oh, this could be a letdown spot, but I don't think so. We applied this same principle to Clemson yesterday. People said it was going to be a letdown spot for Clemson off that win over Duke. I don't think that's the case. I think Florida's just head and shoulders better than Mississippi State. Mississippi State has struggled to beat good teams. So Florida will be a play for me today. I just am waiting to see if the line moves even more because it's already come down a ton. But yeah, I like Florida a lot tonight. Arizona and Kansas State. You guys know where I'm going with this. It's Kansas State. We're going to fade Arizona once again. They've buried me the last 2 times I've won against them. They buried me over the weekend when we took Texas Tech. Yeah, I'm going with Kansas State. Kansas State has just been on fire, completely out of nowhere. I don't really know where it came from, but you guys know I love Jerome Tang. I think he's one of the best coaches in the entire country. I really wanted Ohio State to get him as their coach. So it's not shocking to me that this team is just putting it together at the end of the season in February because I think they're very well coached. I hate Coleman Hawkins, but he's been playing great as of late as well, especially on the defensive end. So Arizona's been hot. Kansas State's been hot. But I'm going to take the home team here and take Kansas State. I'll take Kansas State outright, but I'm just going to take the 3.5. I feel like a lot of people I don't know. I don't know where this one goes, but I like Kansas State. So Florida definitely going to play later. Kansas State plus 3.5. I like. You can get a minus 110 elsewhere if you look around. UCLA, Illinois. This opened at I think 4.5 or 5.5. It's up to 6.5. This one's tough for me. It's a tough little like road spot for UCLA, I guess, but I kind of think UCLA is just as good as Illinois. I think they're similar in how I would evaluate them in terms of being good. I think they're kind of like right around the same. They're kind of like fringy. They both would be like fit between like 15 and like 21, 22 for me probably if I was just ranking out teams. So they're kind of similar. A lot of people will probably be on Illinois at home here, but I don't know. I'll probably just avoid. I kind of leaned UCLA, but I'll probably avoid unless this moves up more. Then I'd be interested. If we could get another like a 7.5 or something, but I mean that's juiced right there. So it'll probably go back to 5.5 maybe. I don't know. If someone in chat has an opinion on that game, you can let me know. I kind of like leaned UCLA, but I don't love it enough to play it, I don't think. DePaul Marquette. Marquette is going to absolutely destroy DePaul. I would not lay a 17.5. You can lay a team total over, though. It's super high. 81.5 is a monster team total. I'd still take the over. Marquette might score 90 points in this game. DePaul is that bad. So if you want to get in on this, I wouldn't lay the 17.5. I'd go team total over 81.5 and just hope for an offensive eruption, which certainly could happen against DePaul. So that's my thoughts on that game. I might actually add that on later, to be honest with you, and just take that 81.5. Alabama, Texas. Alabama's my favorite play tonight. I love them. They're 4.5 on FanDuel. You can get 3.5s on some other books. So I would go with the 3.5, but I really like Alabama tonight. I think they're head and shoulders above Texas. And Alabama has struggled. Like Alabama's 6th overall in KenPom, right? 3rd overall in offensive rating. They have not shot well from 3, which if you know anything about Nate Oates in Alabama, that's what they do. They got to the deep in the tournament last year, shooting great from deep. That's what they do. And for the season, they're 189th in the country in 3-point percentage as a team. Now, that has started to correct over the last few games. They've started to shoot better. I think that's going to continue throughout the rest of the season. So I'm pretty high on Alabama going into like the SEC tournament, and I like them here. I think they're much better than Texas. I know it's a tough matchup on the road, I guess. But yeah, give me Alabama minus 3.5. It's my favorite play tonight. UConn and Creighton. I like UConn. You can catch some 4.5s out there. I'd take that. Creighton, I bet on them Saturday. They came through for us, but kind of feels like a good time to sell high on them. Even though they're at home, they've just been playing way above their heads, in my opinion. And you guys know I'm a Creighton fan. I'm like a legitimate, like I own Creighton memorabilia. Like I am a legitimate Creighton basketball fan. But this feels like a good sell high to me. I liked him on Saturday. People were trying to sell him on Saturday. I think they were like a game too early because I would rather sell them here against UConn. I'm going to take UConn. If you can get the 4.5, I like UConn there. Kansas, Colorado, I'm not betting on that. Texas A&M, Georgia. I lean Texas A&M. I think Georgia's a little bit banged up here. KenPom has it as Texas A&M minus 8. Spreads 8.5. I like Texas A&M. I may add that. That's one of the Texas A&M I'm eyeing for later. Michigan I'm eyeing for later. Florida I'm taking. I'm just waiting to see what the line settles at. But yeah, those are the ones I'm looking at for later on tonight. Or this evening, I guess. And then Michigan State, Indiana. I've been riding Michigan State. I have a bet on Michigan State, a future bet on them to make the Final Four. I kind of love their team. I love how they've been playing. So I would lean Michigan State here to cover. If you want to take them first half, I think that's a little bit interesting because they started off really slow against Oregon over the weekend. Then they came back and won and covered. I don't think that was kind of their sleepy start slow. I don't think they'll start slow here again, back-to-back games at home. So if you want to take them first half, they're just significantly better in all facets than Indiana. So I like Michigan State. Probably first half is how I'll play them, but I do like them tonight. Yeah, so those are the big games. Leans for me betting wise, I like Alabama, I like UConn, I like Kansas State, and then I do like Michigan State, I do like Texas A&M, and I do like Florida, who I will be looking at for later on. And look, Kansas State line just moved 2.5 now. We got it at 3.5, just moved 2.5. All right, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask real quick. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and get my one basketball. I want to build some NBA power rankings similar to what I did for NFL. So try and have that done. We can bring that up on the stream tomorrow, talk about it a little bit. We'll also talk some golf tomorrow because we have the Genesis on Thursday, which is weird because it's not going to be at the normal course because of the fires and stuff in California. It actually got moved, so it's at a different course. Tiger's not playing, unfortunately, which isn't shocking. I didn't know. I'm not shocked that he's not going to play, but we'll have some stuff to talk about for golf for tomorrow. We'll talk some basketball as well. We'll recap today. And yeah, good luck with your bets today. Got Obear 19-1 yesterday. Got to go back to him. Yeah, that's an interesting point, Sass, especially because he likes that course a lot. And I mean, I love Obear, so not really. He's 25-1 on FanDuel, even better odds. I might dabble on that. I'm gonna do my golf research later. I might start doing some golf articles too, just like on the blog, maybe. We'll see. I'll talk to the Rolling Insights staff. We'll see what's going on here. But if you guys would be interested. But anyways, good luck with your bets today. DFS if you're playing, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.